so I was born in 1951, and we lived in that house till my dad died in 1959. I went to grade school on the ASU campus where the music building is now. There was a grade school that most of my friends and I went to, and where the law school and the honors college and the big science buildings was a neighborhood. There were lots of houses there, so it wasn't as isolated as it would seem today to think about growing up there. We had this big yard around that house where I could play all the time, and there were a lot of trees in it. One of them was this big mulberry tree, which is right where the diagonal walk is that goes over to the front of Old Main and the front of the University Club now. And in the middle of that, there was this huge mulberry tree that I had a probably 24 to 30 inch diameter trunk. And next to it was a shuffleboard court with a big night blooming Sirius cactus that was really cool. People would come and sit out there in the evening just to watch the cactus blossoms open. It was sort of entertaining to watch them. My friends and I would climb in this mulberry tree, and we decided we needed to build a treehouse in the mulberry tree. And at the time, there was lots of construction going on campus, so it was easy to just go and get extra pieces of lumber and old pallets and to break them up and start building a treehouse. Like any treehouse built by 10-year-old boys, it looked pretty scruffy. And here in the middle of campus was this sort of treehouse I was building that looked like it was a refugee from the Ozarks or something. I remember my father coming out and saying, this is really not a good idea. I will have the university crews come and do a treehouse for you. And I was like, well, okay. I really wanted to build the treehouse. It's to a kid that age, the building the treehouse is every bit as important as having it to play in, frankly. But I got it, and I didn't want to embarrass my father, so we tore down the initial treehouse that my friends and I were building, and 4 or 5 guys from the university building crews showed up, and they built this incredibly beautiful treehouse. It was just a platform, but it looked like something out of the Lord of the Rings when they all get to Lothlorien, where the elves live. It had mitered corners. It had, sort of tongue and groove. It was a platform, and it was probably up about 12 or 15 feet in this mulberry tree. And the tree branched at that level, so there are branches coming through it. It took them, a week or more to build this thing, and it was painted in a tasteful green, and it was really lovely, and I really didn't like it very much because I wanted my crummy Ozarkian tree fort to play in, but it was pretty fun. It was up higher than I would have built, and therefore hard to get into. We would have to bring a ladder in and out in order to get up into the tree fort, which was part of the design because there was a concern about students sort of sneaking into it at night. Right across from that house when we lived in it, on where the life science building is, and to the side where the physical science building is, were men's dorms. The male students would play pool out and I'd go over and hang out with them, and I was sort of their mascot. But there was a concern that late at night, perhaps related to alcohol, the male students would get in the tree fort, so it was purposefully made hard to get into. Had a swing that was made out of an old crate that was made to look like an airplane, like a square box airplane with wings and a propeller on it, that we would get in and swing back and